On Global TV News Express, Vice President Shettima says federal government is working for the return of Niger IDPs. Lawyers sues federal government over IGP's tenure elongation. In business, federal government grants subsidy to Kano electricity customers. On the foreign scene, fear grips U.S. Haitian immigrants amid bomb threats and conspiracy theories. And in sports, Nigeria Football Federation search of new Falcons coach after Waldrom's resignation. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, says measures are being put in place to ensure residents displaced by insecurity and flood disasters in Niger State return to their homes soon. Senator Shettima stated this when he visited the internally displaced persons camp in Gwada Shiroro local government area of Niger State to sympathize with the victims of insecurity and flood disasters in the state. The Vice President, who also flagged off the distribution of relief materials to the IDPs, says his visit is on the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to assess the plight of the affected farmers and to encourage the citizens to have faith in the Tinubu-led administration. Meanwhile, as Nigeria continues to grapple with the aftermath of devastating floods in Maiduguri, Borno State, and other parts of the country, the federal government has issued an urgent warning about impending flooding along the Niger and Benue rivers. The Minister's Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Hussein, issued the letter in Abuja during a press briefing on the flooding situation in Maiduguri. He warned that a large volume of water was flowing through the rivers down to the Niger Delta region, stressing the need for heightened vigilance and proactive measures, particularly in southern Nigeria, to mitigate the effects of potential flooding. The Minister of Environment, Alhaji Balarabe Abbas, has announced the deployment of staff to Maiduguri to address population and other environmental challenges. Abbas made this known while consoling the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, when he led a delegation of heads of relevant agencies in the ministry on an assessment visit to Maiduguri. Abbas says the ministry has prepared for the aftermath of Alau Dam flood disaster in Maiduguri with the deployment of staff of relevant agencies to Borno State. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has harped on stronger partnership and collaboration between Niger Delta Development Commission and host states in the planning and implementation of programs and policies as the most effective way of creating proper development impact in the Niger Delta region. Fubara disclosed this while speaking at the official launch of the Livelihood Improvements Family Enterprises Niger Delta for Akwa Ibom, Imo, and Rivers State in Port Harcourt. The wife of Imo State Governor Chioma Uzodinma says her administration will empower 1,575 women across various categories of skill acquisition. She made this known at the grand finale of the 2024 August meeting with Imo women. Amarachi Ibe tells us more.
Women from the 27 local government areas of Imo State, in their different groups, with their different uniforms, gathered at NDBC Carlos Square, venue for this year's grand finale of this year's August meeting, hosted by wife of the Imo State Governor, Chioma Uzodinma. The wife of the Imo State Governor, Chioma Uzodinma, explained that this year's August meeting, themed Nwanyi Dike, a strong woman, captured the declaration of indomitable spirit that defines Imo women. She says the event is to reflect on collective achievements and set purposeful path for the future.
Nwanyi Dike, a strong woman, captures the very essence of our identity as Imo women. To Today, we are here not just to celebrate our resilience and strength, but to reflect on our collective achievements and set a purposeful path for our future. YEDK is not just a theme. It is a profound declaration of the indomitable spirit that defines the Igbo woman.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma thanked Imo women for their support and also thanked the wife of the president.
I want to compliment my wife for the bold initiatives she has rolled out and for embracing you Imo women into a partnership that is working. I want to thank you. I will also use this opportunity to thank the First Lady of Nigeria for all the support and connections she continued to make to Imo women.
Dignitaries in attendance include wife of the Southern governors, members of Imo State House of Assembly, and other top government officials. Amarachi Ibe for Global Television News, Owerri.
The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, CGC Adewale Adeniyi, has tasked the service's public relations team on the need to align their communication strategies with the agenda of President Bola Tinubu. The Comptroller General made this known at the 2024 Public Relations Conference for Public Relations Officers of the Service in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere has details.
The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, charged the public relations officers of the service to create more awareness on the service trade modernization project, while urging the team across zones and commands of the country to keep their eyes on the balls and change the trajectory. The custom boss further charged the PR officers to invest more in discipline, commitment, professional standards as they aspire to be the best at what they do.
As the society evolves, our strategies have to evolve. We must continue to be strategic in our approach to communication. Communication can no longer be like we have generated 20 million or we have made 5 seizures. We now have to look at the strategic and the bigger picture. We now have to begin to align what we do to the objective of Mr. President.
President of the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Neliaku, reminded media practitioners and the PR professionals present at the conference that public relations is the core of life. The National Public Relations Officer of Customs, Abdullahi Miwada, reflected on the journey so far as he commended the Comptroller General for his support to the growth of the team.
Public relations is about consultation. When you consult, you give a consensus, then you create. And PR is about creation. And who did they create? In his own image. You cannot make an image until you become an image. So PR is about image making.
This conference is not merely a gathering of minds, but a chance to collectively reflect on our journey, assess our present, and envision our future. As we explore the chronicles of progress, we will trace the historical path of our units, acknowledging milestones reached, the challenges overcome, and the invaluable lessons learned along the way.
It is expected that the event will improve service delivery in the area of fostering mutual understanding between Nigerian Customs Service and all stakeholders. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
In the meantime, following the appointment by the board of the Nigeria Customs Service of 2 Deputy Comptroller General of Customs and 5 Assistant Comptrollers General of Customs, the Comptroller General of the service has decorated the newly promoted officers, noting that their elevation is based on merit. Kikelomo Okere has more.
In the last 1 year, the Nigerian Customs Service has witnessed a significant turnover of members of management, with over 10 management staff bowing out of service on the basis of retirement. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, says the newly promoted senior officers have shown competence, diligence, and commitment in their approach to their work and responsibility. He therefore urged the new senior officers to be more dedicated so as to take the service to a higher pedestal.
First, these sets of officers that we have elevated have been selected very carefully on the basis of merits. I want to assure you that these are officers with proven integrity. These are officers that have shown competence, diligence, and commitment in their approach to their work and responsibility.
Speaking on behalf of the newly promoted senior officers, Deputy Comptroller General of Customs Olaniyan Alajogun applauds the board of the service while pledging unwavering commitment to duty and unparalleled dedication to service.
We are pledging an untainted loyalty, unwavering commitment to duty, and unparalleled dedication to service.
It is indeed a joyous occasion for the celebrated officers. The high point of the event was the decoration of the newly promoted senior officers. It is expected that they will justify the confidence the service reposes in them. Kike Lomo Okeri, Television News.
The Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria has reopened the verification portal for nurses and midwives on its website. It was confirmed that the Nursing and Midwifery Council portal shows that nurses and midwives can now submit verification requests. Various nurses have commended the efforts of the association for bringing the change to fruition. An Abuja-based lawyer, Maxwell Okpara, has dragged the federal government before a high court in Abuja to challenge the alleged tenure elongation of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. Okpara sued Egbetokun, the Nigerian Police Force, Nigeria Police Council, President Bola Tinubu, and the Federal Civil Service Commission on 1st to 5th defendants, respectively. Egbetokun, who was born September 4th, 1964, clocked the mandatory retirement age of 60 this year, according to the Public Service Rule, and is expected to have left office. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja, says Nigeria must plan to solve the twin problems of poverty and unemployment to avert long-term insecurity and instability in the country. The Chief of Army Staff stated this while presenting the first Strategic Personality Lecture of the Institute of Peace and Strategic Studies, University of Ibadan. Lagbaja says no single agency could solve the myriad of insecurities facing the country, and that the Nigerian Army is deepening synergy with other agencies to achieve the mandate of security of lives and properties and keeping the country safe. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says the days of notorious bandit leader Bello, 2G, and other terrorists is numbered as troops are committed to ending insecurity in Zamfara and the Northwest Zone. The defense chief stated this when he paid a working visit to the Sector 1 of Operation Hadarin Daji in Gusau, Zamfara State capital. Global Television brings you details. Zamfara is one of several states in northwestern Nigeria terrorized by heavily armed gangs who carry out mass abductions for ransom, as well as burning and looting homes. The Nigeria Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, is in Zamfara State for one-day operational visit to the 1 Brigade of Nigerian Army and Sector 1 Northwest Operation Hadarin Daji. He first paid a courtesy visit to the State Governor Dauda Lawal and announced that a joint military theatre operation codenamed Operation Fansanyama Northwest will be established to tackle the spread of insecurity in the region. He added that additional helicopters and other fighting equipment will be deployed to the state.
Not tell you what we are putting in place, but definitely reactions have been there. Those areas have been monitored and adequate actions will be taken accordingly. And it's not only him, all other commanders very soon, just like the way today, yesterday night, we'll be able to take out Halilu himself. We're coming after all of them one by one. The good thing for them is any of them who is smart enough should leave the country. But as long as he remains on the foot of Nigeria, he's not going to last longer than necessary.
The Chief of Defense Staff also announced the killing of Halilu Sububu, a wanted bandit leader operating in western Zamfara, and a cash reward for the troops who carried out the recent operation that led to the death of the wanted bandit leader. The Zamfara State Governor, Dauda Lawal, appreciated the efforts of the security agencies in the state, adding that if Zamfara State can be rid of banditry, 70% of the security challenges in northern Nigeria will be solved.
In the northeast too, we had civilian JTF, we were trained, they were profiled by the DSS and the police, and were deployed with our men, and they operated together. And that is what we're going to employ. And
so we're confident that with these efforts, and with the new measures put in place, it's just a matter of time, we will all celebrate. We are 100% behind you and your men, and we have absolute confidence that you will do what you promise. And we'll give you all the necessary cooperation in whatever means, or whatever capacity.
The Chief of Defense Staff proceeded to the headquarters of 1 Brigade Nigerian Army Gusau, where he was briefed on the operational activities of the Sector 1 of Operation Hadarin Daji and offered a minute silence prayers for the souls of soldiers killed in recent bandit attack in the state. Over 30 operational motorcycles, hundreds of ammunition and firearms were recovered during operation. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reported. The student community at Ekosodion, Edo State, was thrown into panic on Saturday morning when a story building on Ekato Street, Benin, the state capital, collapsed during the early morning downpour in the state. Ekosodion borders the University of Benin and has a huge student population, as those who cannot get accommodation in the school opt to live in the area. It was reported that some of the trapped students have been rescued while the search for others continue. In its efforts to flush out terrorist and armed violence bandits in Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has donated patrol vehicles to the Nigerian police for accelerated response to security threats in the state. Governor Dauda Lawal, while handing over the vehicles to the 16 police divisions, 2 mobile police force units and counter-terrorism units, stated that security of lives and property is topmost in his rescuing mission agenda. Sharon Ajay has details.
Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal says operational patrol vehicles will enhance the police response to distressed calls and patrol of the state to ensure a secure environment for the residents. Governor Lawal further commiserates with the police and the Nigerian Army, whose 7 of its personnel were killed in an ambush by suspected terrorists on Thursday morning, and assured to improve the police and other security agencies' efficiency and effectiveness in carrying out their constitutional duties.
We find it within the meager resources that we have as a state to first consider the DPOs and be able to make them mobile so that they will be able to attend to any emergency that arises in the course of their duty. Let me also use this opportunity to condole the CP about the incident that happened where we lost some men today in the course of fighting bandits around Kotorokoshi area. May their soul rest in peace.
The Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Zamfara State, Captain Bala Meriga, says the essence of the donation of operational patrol vehicles is to enhance police operations and quick response to emergency security threats in the state.
In an effort to eradicate this security problem, it cannot be done without giving consideration to our security personnel, mostly the police, who are closer to the people. And the governor realized that police are not adequately, at least, mobiled. So they don't have enough and strong vehicles to move around in case of emergency.
The Commissioner of Police in Zamfara State, CP Mohammed Danlijan, expressed the readiness of the Nigerian police to defend and protect residents of the state against activities of violent armed bandits who are unleashing terror on innocent citizens.
We will continue to fight them until when they are totally defeated. Sir, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Adewolu Egbetoko, we hereby appreciate you for giving on these patrol vehicles.
He appealed to residents to promptly report suspicious characters to the police. Sharona J. reporting for Global TV News.
Meanwhile, 3 soldiers of the Nigerian Army and 4 personnel of the Nigerian Police Force have been killed while repelling bandits' attack on Zamfara Highway. Confirming the incidents to newsmen in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, Commissioner of Police Mohammed Dalijan says the bandits had planned to attack a construction company working along the highway and abduct some of their workers. He says joint security forces of the Nigerian police and the army were mobilized to the scene, but unfortunately the bandits laid an ambush and opened fire on them.
Well, the bandit had wanted to enter into Setarako camp to abduct some staff of the Setarako company. We had the information, we sent our men not knowing that they have laid ambush on the road. And as they were going into the company, they met heavy resistance from these bandits. They opened fire, exchanged gun fire. In the process, we lost some army personnel and some police personnel too. We lost 3 soldiers and 4 policemen.
The commissioner, however, commended the troop who fought gallantly to repel the attack. You're watching News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, no new pledge on Ukraine missiles after Stammer Biden talks. Details of this and more after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. If you just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Express. In business, the federal government has announced that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited will be the sole buyer of premium motor spirits from Dangote Refinery. It also noted that interested marketers will have to buy the product from the national oil firm through its trading company. This was part of the agreement reached with the management of Dangote Refinery on the commercial terms for the supply of crude oil to the refinery and the off-taking and distribution of petrol and diesel from the facility. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has ordered the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company to compensate several communities in Kogi and Abuja for service failures. This mandate follows the company's inability to meet the required service delivery commitments outlined under the service-based tariff system. According to a NEC document, the affected areas include Wuse, Garki, Asokoro in Abuja, and Ajaokuta confluence in Lokoja, Kogi State. On the foreign scene, bomb threats are being called into schools and businesses are closing at sundown in Springfield, Ohio, after the small U.S. town became the center of conspiracy theories targeting its Haitian immigrant community, leaving some in fear for their lives. The mostly white city in the American Midwest has seen a boom in population in recent years, fueled mostly by Haitians attracted by its economic revival and new businesses happy to attract laborers. But after fleeing gang violence in Haiti, many newcomers are now worried they could be victims of hate crimes here as Republicans stir tensions over the influx of black foreigners during a heated political campaign season. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer did not signal any decision on allowing Ukraine to use long-range missiles to hit targets inside Russia after talks with US President Joe Biden in Washington. When asked if he had persuaded Biden to allow Ukraine to fire long-range Storm Shadow missiles into Russia, Sir Keir says they had a long and productive discussion on a number of fronts, including Ukraine, as they would expect the Middle East and the Indo-Pacific. The White House said they also expressed deep concern about Iran and North Korea's provision of lethal weapons to Russia. And that's it on the News Express, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nightcomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching, and see you again.